Here we go. So my name is Dee. It's Monday night. It's September 21st already. That is hard to believe. I am going to go ahead and mute everybody. And if you have a question along the way or towards the end, feel free to unmute yourself. You can star 6 if you're on your phone, or unmute, or same thing on your computer. So I just do that to avoid any background noise. Susan, okay, so here we go. So tonight we're going to talk about the big why. And we are in week 3 already of the health games, which is just crazy. If you're like me, it just goes so fast. But as it's going so fast, life is kind of out there wanting to pull us away from our health goals. It's just common. We just live in a world that is so busy, so hectic, and so many temptations everywhere we turn. So what I wanted to just touch on tonight was the topic of really deciding what it is you want when it comes to your health, and how getting crystal clear on that will help when we're faced with challenges and obstacles, which are inevitably going to happen during our health journey. Whether our goal is for weight loss, for maintenance, wherever we are, life is going to be out there trying to get in the way. So this is the topic we're going to talk about is really a crucial foundation of the Take Shape for Life health program. I mean, hopefully you're getting the gist that this is not just about a diet. It is not just about losing weight. Everything you're getting points for is related to habits of health. And then a lot of what you see is about mindset. And our mindset is really 50% of it. I mean, just really the ability to set a goal, to be able to see it and believe that it's possible. You're a good part of the way there already. So we're just going to kind of talk about that, what that looks like for us with our health. So often we think about our health in terms of problem solving. We see a number on the scale, we don't like it, we feel like we should lose weight, and we're really kind of focused downward on almost like a negative kind of approach to it. We're in problem solving mode versus creation. And what really is more effective, and think about this in terms of all areas of your life, we're much more successful when we're thinking in terms of what we want to create and really what the outcome will be, and how our life is going to be different as a result. So it goes beyond motivation. Motivation is great, but how do you stay inspired, and how do you stay focused on the direction where you want to go? So that's what we're going to talk about. And there's actually even a technical coaching term we use called structural tension, but I'll kind of show you how all the pieces of the puzzle start to fit together. So the first step is to kind of think about, and you can think about it in terms of why you joined this challenge, or no matter where you are in your journey. But the first part is kind of defining your current reality. Where are you right now? What's the number on the scale? Where's your blood pressure? What are you possibly taking medications for? How's your activity level? How much are you exercising? How's your water intake? Really just getting, that reality check of where we are now. And then what we want to do is shift to, what do we want? And so often we tend to think about, well, I want to lose weight. And even that is just a very vague goal. It's like, well, how much weight do you want to lose? Is it 1 pound? Is it 20 pounds? Do you want to do it over the course of a year? Do you want to do it in 6 weeks? Like, what is that? Because we've got to have a framework and really a bullseye, a target that we're going to, in order to help us align our decisions in line with what it's going to take to achieve that goal. So let's say the goal is 20 pounds. We want to lose 20 pounds. And I don't know where that number came from, but let's just say that is. Well, when I'm working with an individual client, the conversation then shifts to, okay, well, great, because losing 20 pounds is great. We know that's going to have a positive impact on our health. But specifically, what does it mean to you? So when you're thinking about your health goals and what you want to achieve, what does that transpire to in what you don't have today? Like, for example, for me, when I needed to lose about 20 pounds when I started this program. Well, I wanted to be able to lower my blood pressure. I was borderline high blood pressure. It's a genetic thing, but I wanted to be able to lower that. I didn't want it to be an issue that every time I went to the doctor, I had to wonder if it was going to be too high. And so I knew if I lost weight, that was going to bring that health goal to me. So I knew that was important to me. For vanity reasons, I knew that I wanted to be able to walk in my closet and anything would fit at any time. I didn't have to worry about what was going to fit on a particular given day. And some people are smiling, so I know we all live with that. I am a fitness instructor. I have osteoarthritis in my knees. I didn't want my knees to hurt anymore. So I had to focus on those things, knowing that if I lost the weight, it would bring me to what I really wanted. And so what I want and what you want are different, but it is important for you to think about in terms of, we set goals with this challenge, like lose 6% of your body weight in 6 weeks. But really what's going to keep you focused is what is that 6% going to do? For some of us, it gives us freedom. It might give us freedom to be able to do activities that we can't comfortably do now. Like I just started working with a gentleman. He's got a lot of weight to lose, but he went on a vacation and they had all kinds of plans to do this sightseeing and touring, and he had to sit it out. He couldn't do it. So his goal for losing weight is not about the number on the scale, but being able to have the freedom to do what he wants when he wants to do it. So that is what it looks like, whether you want to be off medications, just give yourself more options. That's what we have to get crystal clear on. And then what it becomes when we think about our objectives is our current reality that we just talked about and our vision of where it is we want to be. And it's only through when we can organize our life. I love this phrase that Dr. Anderson has. He says, you'll find that if you organize your life around what matters most to you, your world will actually become a lot simpler. And so that's what we're really about, is really centering and making our priority what it is that's really important to us, rather than just kind of surviving and just getting by with all the distractions that we have. So we do have to set goals. I mean, goals are important, and people that set goals and write them down are actually 80% more successful. This is with any kind of goal setting. When they actually write a goal down, that's a SMART goal, and we'll talk about what a SMART goal is. When they do that, they write it down, and even better, put it in a visual location that is visible to them. Well, then they're more likely to achieve it. And I'll show you an example. Like every month with my business, I set goals, and right next to me with my computer is I have a sheet with all of my goals lined out, what I want to accomplish. So each month I've written out my goal. I mean, I thought about it. It's got a time date stamp on it, and then I write it down and it's in front of me. And then as I start filling it out, as things start happening, I start filling it out. So it's more likely going to happen because I'm keeping it in front of me. So the same thing applies with our health. In terms of, sometimes people like to put a visual with it. Maybe it's something they want to be able to travel more. So you can put together, what do they call those? Like a vision board of what it is you want to accomplish. So really focusing on what you want to create for yourself can be a very, very positive experience. But when we think about setting goals, and some of this is driven into the challenge, you're seeing it, we talk about SMART goals. And this probably isn't rocket science. It's probably not new information, but it's certainly worth going over again because we tend to get tripped up when it comes to this. So a SMART goal is, number one, it's something that's specific. So taking that from I want to lose weight to I want to lose X amount of pounds, like putting a parameter and a definition to it. It's got to be measurable, so that we can have a starting place and a finishing time, and during that time frame be able to know if we accomplish the goal. And accomplishing the goal is great, but a lot of times just making progress towards that goal is equally as significant. So we want to be able to measure that we're moving in the direction of it. We want it to be achievable. When they come up with the guidelines for these challenges, when we did a 4-week challenge, well, the goal was 4% weight loss. When it's a 6-week challenge, if you sign up for weight loss, it's a 6% goal. And that's because it's something that is attainable, that for the average person that would be achievable if we followed all the habits of health during that time period. So we want it to be realistic. We don't want any pie in the sky dreams. We know that if it's not realistic, and more importantly, if it's a goal that we personally don't think that we can achieve, sometimes we put something out there because we think that it's almost like a wish. Like that'd be nice if I lost 20 pounds. But if we don't really believe that it's possible for ourselves or it's not attainable, the likelihood of us of actually even making significant progress towards it declines significantly. And I hope that makes sense. And then we want it to be time oriented. So you see a lot of that in the health challenge as far as all of that is around it. So it's important to write down your goal, what it is you want to create for yourself, write down your current reality, and then what happens in between is what we call the secondary choices. So you've made this primary choice that you were going to join this challenge. You made this primary choice that you were going to lose weight or do, earn your participation points. But now we've got some secondary choices that we have to make along the way. And that's where it gets kind of icky sometimes, because that's where it can get to the point that we have to do things or make decisions that we don't necessarily want to do. And I know that is true. And so it might be, maybe not going out to eat with friends. If they're going to a place that's just not in line with your goals whatsoever, whatever, maybe just for this short time period, you make a decision you're not going to go. Or you don't go to your favorite coffee shop for the time being, because you're always tempted by something that's in there. So sometimes we have to make that kind of temptation that we have to give up something for a while. Maybe it's a decision that we have to go exercise, and we don't really want to, but it falls into the category of, do it anyway. And so those secondary choices, I'd like you to maybe take a second and think about something else in your life where you had to make some choices that you didn't really like, but they were what brought you to your ultimate goal. And the two things that come to mind for me, I think about when I was in college and, hanging out with my friends and going to parties and doing stuff was a whole lot more fun than studying, right? Or if I had a paper to do and it was coincided with dollar pitcher night and I couldn't go, it was due the next morning and I had to miss the event. I had to do some things I didn't want to do, but it was that, it was the end result of getting my college degree was a whole lot more important. Just like when I hit an obstacle and maybe I wrote that paper and I didn't do well on it and I got a C or a D or maybe I failed on it, I didn't let that stop me. I didn't let that put up the wall and just say, well, forget it, this is way too hard. Because I had that goal in mind and I realized, I just got to keep going with this. So that's one example that comes to mind. And I would say the other is parenting. I had a goal and I still have the goal. My kids are grown, but I want to be a good parent. And sometimes, when the kids were little, that meant, not going to events. I couldn't go away, do things maybe, or changing poopy diapers or whatever it is. There were things I just didn't want to do, but I did it because I wanted to be a good parent. I wanted my kids to have the best. So hopefully that's correlatable if you think about something else in your life, because for whatever reason with our health, we tend to let our challenges and our obstacles get a little more in the way than we would with other goals in our life. And Lord knows why that happens. But so that's where the fundamentals of it. I think I kind of want to stop at that, and we can talk about that. And then next week we'll talk about more about the power of choice and discipline when we start to get into those secondary decisions and what kind of actions and what might be helpful when we're faced with those challenges. But I think we're still early enough in the game that it was hopefully helpful to talk about really getting crystal clear on our why, and then why that's so important to our end result and what we want and accomplishing what we want. So what I'll do now, actually, if this was a light bulb moment for you, or if you have something that you can add, maybe from your own experience, maybe some of our other health coaches on the line, if you could just unmute yourself and then join in and share, I think that would probably be really helpful to other people. Janice, you got it there.
Okay, there we go. Sometimes I have a bad habit of to and from work. I might stop somewhere and pick up something that I shouldn't be picking up to eat. And I want to stop. Well, my goal is I want to stop doing that. Would that be a goal that is attained? Is that where you're headed or asking for that? how do I
So,
work
so
with that?
take
Or
it.
is that next week's more willpower
It's a
type?
little bit in line, but we can touch on it. So,
Hmm.
so your goal is what? Your vision of what you want to create is what for yourself?
Um, to pass up, to come to and from work feeling calm, passing up these temptations to and from work. Because sometimes it's almost like I feel like I'm going to give myself a reward, or I'm tired or stressed, and this is going to make me feel better temporarily. And my goal is I want a goal that I can comfortably drive to and from work without all that, giving in or trying to not do that habit is basically it.
Okay, well, that's a really good example because I like, because what you've given an example of is what you don't want. So we talked about
Right.
how that's really hard because when we focus on what we don't want, we're almost focusing on willpower. Like, okay, don't do it, don't
Right.
do it, don't do it, you know? So what it helps is if we step back to think about what we do want. So what we do want is, and you're a client of mine, so I kind of know, but I'd rather you say it. So if I wave that magic wand and I have Janice's health in a few months, what would you like that to look like for you? Let's take out the stops at the store. Like, what do you want with your health? What would you like to be different and with your health that you don't have right today?
To speed up, I guess, or help with my weight loss, and to start achieving that goal of the weight loss that I want to keep going for, and being, losing some of that weight because I'm not going to those temptations, but just feeling calm and confident, and it, yeah, just feeling calm and confident driving to and from work, and my goal of feeling proud of myself or whatever, that um, I've lost more weight and I've lost it maybe faster.
Okay. And why do you
That
want
makes
to lose
sense.
weight? Why do you want to lose weight?
Health. Um, I want to be able to, the weight I've lost now, I want to be able to continue doing that. And one of my goals is I want to climb this mountain in Rocky Mountain National Park that my mother hiked in tennis shoes and a dress back in the 40s. And I can't do that right now. And to be able to do some of those goals and wishes and dreams that I can't do right now because of my health, and not my health as much as conditioning and weight.
Okay. So do you see what we just did there? So we shifted it from, she was talking about losing weight. I want to do this so I can still lose weight. But then now we're looking at, okay, why is that weight loss important? Well, it's going to give her the freedom that she will be able to start to do stuff that she can't do now. And that's a really attractive goal, to be able to climb, do a trail that your mom did at some point that you're not physically in the condition to do. So
Right.
that's our what we want to create. You want to create this Janice that is in a healthy position, that she can achieve these things that she wants to achieve and be able to do things that you can't do right now. So
Right.
then it becomes a matter of the secondary choices along the way. So the secondary choices are, you know, eating in line, drinking our 100 ounces of water a day, getting exercise on a regular basis, and then following our eating plan is one of them.
Right.
And then, so then the next thing, so then we have to look at what you're facing is you're facing a trigger or emotional eating, right? You're facing a
Yes,
trigger now.
very
You've got this
much.
pattern that when you drive by this place, it's probably almost somewhat of a habit now.
Yep.
It's something you've done for a while as far as a reward. So then it becomes a matter of when you're faced with that choice, and we'll go more into this next week, is Dr. Anderson, the approach we use is really the stop, challenge, and choose. And I know that
Right.
we've already seen this in this
Mhm.
challenge. But so you're faced with that. So you're feeling stressed or you're feeling emotional, whatever it is that you're going through as you're driving home. And then, you know, one, we got to acknowledge it. And we got to stop and go, okay, what is going on here? Why am I feeling this way? And then look at your choice. And now you have a choice. You can make that stop and go for that temporary satisfaction, or you have a choice not to. But we want to stop and pause instead of going into that automatic reflex mode of getting that reward. And then ask yourself the question, if I stop and do this, if I eat this, is it going to bring me closer to my goal of being able to climb that mountain?
I see. Yeah.
You know, and so it just becomes a matter of that. Now, it's still a choice. And at the end of the day, it's your choice. Nobody's going to take it away from you. But often those choices get easier when we think about in terms of, is this bringing me to what I want versus thinking of, oh, I can't have that because I'm trying to lose weight.
I see. Yeah. That shift in thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a really good example. I hope that was helpful. And we'll go.
It was very helpful. Thank you. Yep. And you saw that mountain, you know what I'm talking about. Twin sisters.
Yes. Yeah. Janice was my tour guide and when we went out to Colorado. Marcy, did you want to say something?
Yes, I think on those type of urges too, that before you get in the car and you are faced with that choice of what you want to do. If you had something small to eat, like a half of a bar or something like that, that would take care of what you think is hunger, that you can get over that habit by doing something like that, or say then not have the rest of if it's time for to eat something, just put something to divert that, but to also satisfy whatever it is that you think is satisfying.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Sometimes even like chewing mint gum.
Then it becomes the habit. Then you pass by and you won't do it again.
True.
That's a good suggestion. Yeah, create a new habit around it. Like, you know, you can have sugar-free gum or sugar-free mints or something. Put that in your mouth when you're feeling that way. And then that taste, it kind of, you know, does away with the craving taste. So it can like get you through that moment. Let you get past that.
And then you can work on whether it's psychological or physical.
Yes, very much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Other input or questions? That was a good example, Jan. I'm glad we didn't even set that up. So it worked out well.
Thanks.
Was this helpful to you guys? Does this kind of discussions, is it helpful?
Absolutely.
Yes, it is.
We're going to have a couple of more of these probably. I know we've got the one next week. Is there any particular topic you would like to see us cover? We can factor that in. And you can always message me on the challenge. If something comes to mind, you can message me. But what I try to do with this is address some of the most common issues and struggles that we have with our existing clients, because it tends to be universal. So hopefully that it gives you something you can walk away with that's helpful. Any other, anybody, we have about a couple more minutes if anybody wants to join in the conversation. All right, well, fantastic. Thanks for the opportunity to spend Monday evening with you. I know you're busy, so the fact you took out some time for your health is very commendable. So make sure you give yourself 25 points for attending live. And I put it on the board today, but there is a side challenge going on, a side contest. If you have 750 points by the 21st day of this challenge, you will be in a drawing and you could win 50 bucks. So that's kind of fun. So pay attention to that. Yeah, cash is good. All right. Have a great night, you guys. Thanks so much.
You too. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, Dee.
Thank you.